Had a little listen to his podcast, huh?
Dude, it's educational. And besides, I've been wanting to listen to this one.
Welcome to Idling in the Impala, a podcast by and for lovers of supernatural and the fan fiction it inspires. Before we begin, just want to remind you to like, subscribe, follow wherever you listen to us so you don't miss any episodes or bonus stuff that we do. I'm Sandra.
I'm Karlee, and happy Thanksgiving, y'all. In America, Canadian Thanksgiving has already gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are late and wrong,
I mean,
as usual.
We're early and wrong as well. This episode is going out on the 21st of November, with Thanksgiving being on the 23rd. So, you know, we don't like to mess with the algorithm and change the episode dates because it gets real upset. So happy early Thanksgiving, guys.
We were going to do this because we were thinking, what would Sam and Dean do at Thanksgiving if they had the opportunity to have an actual Thanksgiving? And I think we've seen bits and pieces of that sometimes don't make sense to us when we've seen how they respond to, say, family finally being together. And why is this such a big deal? Karlee questions for Dean to still want to have his mom and dad.
It's been so many years. Like, good Christ, get over it. Yeah.
But yeah, so we were like, we were trying to figure out what a perfect Thanksgiving would look like for each of them. And of course, we had all these wonderful questions, but we haven't really done any notes until just right now. We're going to sit down and talk about it together. So you get so prepared.
This is a rare instance of Sandra off the cuff. You get me off the cuff all the time because I am perpetually unprepared and I lie professionally. But Sandra likes notes and a script. So you're going to get Sandra off the cuff, which is going to be exciting. And I think we will probably naturally default to our brother because I feel like Sandra probably has a better idea of what Dean would want on a perfect Thanksgiving, whereas I think I probably have a better idea of what Sam wants. So maybe we'll mix it up, maybe we won't, but I was only going to talk about Sam. So the first we just threw together like a bunch of like thoughts on Thanksgiving and stuff. So we're just going to run through them like bullet point 8. So the first thing we were like, okay, well, what does a perfect Thanksgiving look like for each of them? So I have an idea. Like, I think Dean would lean maybe a bit more traditional and just want his mum and dad, you know, and have like a family Thanksgiving, like we saw in, well, not a Thanksgiving, but like we saw in Lebanon, a family meal. I think Sam would maybe lean towards a bigger table of found family. So I think Dean would probably want his core family together in a way that he hasn't had since he was 4. Whereas I think Sam would be more like, no, I want Jodie and Donna and the girls and Bobby and Eileen and other people whose names escape me at this exact moment in time. You know, but like Garth and Garth's wife,
like Jack, Cass, like all of the found family that they've had. Yeah. It's interesting to me because the more I keep thinking about the boys, I keep thinking about their stages and how they've kind of progressed or not progressed, and like, you know, what has shifted in their mindset. If we're talking about like early Dean, yes, absolutely. I think just mom, dad, and Sam, right? Like that would be it. I think when we talk about later stage Dean, we do sort of see that growth and change and how much he does. You can see the enjoyment he gets when he is around a lot of people in his found family. Like they don't show it a lot, but like if there'll be sort of like flashbacks or dreams or different things, whatever, you see them just like around a table and just enjoying the time. I feel like he would want that more, like as he was older. Like I think he would be open and receptive and kind of maybe a little more selective too.
Counterpoint to that though.
Yeah.
The episode of Lebanon was quite late in the series, wasn't it? Was it like 13?
It was 14, but
14.
14. But like I still think that there's moments of pushback even in that episode. Like it was kind of like, well, we're here now. This is what like maybe I thought I wanted. When it comes to after whenever he has a discussion with his dad, we've talked about it. There seems to be sort of like this wall I feel, that I think Dean puts up. And I think if given the chance to really have a say and not just, well, what does your brain think you want? Really sit down and think about it.
Yeah.
Sit down and think about it. I think he would be a little bit more selective. I think, because then you get into
on the back of that, then, do you think, I think maybe both of them, but this more leans towards Dean. I think that Dean would have either a meal with his core blood family, John, Mary, Sam, and Dean. Or
he'd do the requirement? He'd do the requirement? Maybe
no, I
don't.
I don't mean that. I mean, like, I don't necessarily think John and Mary would be welcome at Sam's table with his found family. And I'm curious if you think Dean would either, like, it would be an either or situation. Either he would have his blood related family or he would have his found family. They would not mix and merge. Like, do you see Dean sitting down with John and Mary, Cass and Jack and Sam? Because I don't. I feel very strictly either or.
I feel like if we're thinking later on, I almost feel like it might even be like one of those, well, Dean would go to visit situation. You know how some families do the thing where, okay, well, we've got to get this in, we've got to get this in, we've got to get this in the day. Like if there's a lot of people, and sometimes they're like, well, this year we'll do this, and this year we'll do this. I almost feel like Dean might be like, well, I'm just going to go to mom and dad's and just like, do the thing, say hi, like do the required thing, but then have a Thanksgiving that he would want to have after with his found family, which I would say I have done on occasion. You do the requirement to appease, because let's be honest, Dean's not there yet. He's not past that point of like, doing that. Even I think at season, 15 and towards the end and, all of that kind of stuff. But I think it would be a slower process for him. And I think maybe by compartmentalizing it, I think that might make it work for him, for Sam too. Like, like making Sam feel comfortable. Because my thought on Sam was, I would think he would really want to be extremely selective about who he had. And even if there's a big family, I almost feel like the way you've kind of given me the idea of like, Sam's just doesn't know sometimes what to do with the holidays. I feel like he would want to have like a group around him that he wouldn't feel like he had to pretend a lot, like just like enjoy and embrace it and kind of get to that point again. Like I think they both need to find that balance of what works, and it's okay if they do different things to get to that point as long as they have time together, I think, which I think is the way we want them to, I think, interact. If we're talking about what's canon, I think the point is like, how do they have a life that includes each other, but that also goes outside of them, it's like be able to kind of rubber band in and out in a way that's healthy. And I think, I think Dean would be like, he would know what Sam would need. And I think at this point, I would hope he wouldn't feel like, well, why are you still this way? Why are you like this with mom and dad? Like, okay, Dean, you've got it by now. Like we're at this season. Like you understand. Yeah. Like, so I think it's different. It's different stages of the boys, I just think it's different. Cause I remember seeing in, what was it? Season 5 in the Heaven episode where like one of Sam's favorite things was Thanksgiving at somebody else's house, but then you got background about like how he didn't enjoy holidays with John and Dean. It was just like, because it wasn't what I think he thought was normal. But I think everything Sam felt like he wanted, he just still didn't know because he hadn't experienced them. I think if he fully experienced it, I think it still wouldn't quite have resonated with him the way he thought a perfect Thanksgiving should be. That's my take on it. Yeah, that's my take on it. See, you got me thinking about Sam more, Karlee. Damn it.
Oh, I'm very fucking sorry. I'm sorry. Please feel free to go back over that with Dean. It's funny you mentioned Sam being selective, actually, because now you've kind of, thinking about that has kind of made me separate. Plus, Sam's having a busy fucking Thanksgiving, because now I've separated it again. Because now I have Mary and John and the required Thanksgiving. You go to your parents and you eat dry turkey and it's really fucking awkward and then you leave. But then I'm having, I've pared down. I've split Sam's found family into a found family Thanksgiving and a Friendsgiving. And I think his found family would actually be much smaller than I had initially said. So I think it would, obviously it would be Dean, Bobby. I think if we're talking late seasons, I think Cass and Jack would probably have a place around the table as well.
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, I really think it would be one of the most important people to Sam, and we'll get, this is a question further down, would actually be to have his father figure, to have Bobby there. And then I think, so he's done the required thing. He's done the Thanksgiving that he actually wants to do with what he considers his family. And then I think, and I'm drawing from Dean's reaction to all the people in the bunker in mint condition here, and Sam being like, I don't see what the fucking problem is. I think Sam would have a full house of friends in a Friendsgiving as well. And that it would be, everybody I mentioned, Gaff and his family, Donna and Jody and the girls, Charlie. Obviously, Bobby's coming again because Bobby's not going to miss a chance to drink on the boys' dime. Cass and Jack, all those kind of people. They've influenced his life and they've been there, but they're not. It's not on the same level as like Dean, Bobby, Cass, and Jack. So poor Sam's having a real fucking busy third week of November. But he's got shit to do.
Yeah, but I think again, that's the growth in the idea of a perfect Thanksgiving, is that they both come to the realization it doesn't have to be either or. It's what they make out of it. It's how they make it all work for them. Like get the crappy stuff done out of the way first that you don't want to do. Like get the work done, and then do the stuff that you really want to do with the people that you feel the most comfortable with. And again, it's probably projecting, but like I feel like that's where, when you get to a point of understanding, you can have what you want. Sometimes you have to go through a little bit of the crap to get to it. But you have to have boundaries and barriers. And if it got to the point where, no, I'm not doing this anymore because I'm just not comfortable, then that would be another extension or another like growth point, I think, for them. I don't think, if we talk about them where we've left them, I don't think they're quite there yet. They would still feel the obligation to some extent. But I think they would then be like, you know what? We're going to do things our fucking way without that too. We can do both. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We could do the things that we want to do, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think to me, that's what perfect, at least like for right now, I think would be like, and I think it would work.
It's a very subjective.
Yeah. Yeah. Did I lose you again? Karlee. Oh no. What's going on? I don't hear you.
No, I'm back. The fucking cat walked over the keyboard and turned on airplane mode. Son of a bitch.
Okay.
You suck.
Because you were saying, oh yeah, it says 099 on the document now. How cute.
Good. Oh God, yeah, it does.
God.
There you go. That's the podcast mascot's thoughts on things. 099 and airplane mode. I'm gonna leave that in.
99 problems. That's what.
You got 99 problems, but a keyboard ain't one, motherfuckers. Yeah, I don't care which side of the desk you're on. I just want you to pick one and stay there, fat boy. He's lucky he's cute, because otherwise, well, I wouldn't have done anything, because I'm not about that cruelty to animals' life. But he's lucky he's cute, because he gets away with a lot of shit. Don't you, Muffin? You're so pretty.
So I think we have to talk about the next important part, which is food.
Food.
Yeah.
Food. Yes.
Yeah.
So I am probably the most hamstrung here, because you're watching a TV show. Who the fuck pays attention to food? I don't know. I know that there is turkey. I know that you do unspeakable things to sweet potatoes.
Which, again, yeah.
Cranberry sauce, jam, jelly, I don't know.
So I think my thought on this is like food related. I think Dean would want all the traditional stuff that everybody, again, and I think this is because of stuff he's probably seen on television, stuff he's probably encountered, like, but he would want all of the things at the table that are casserole related. So we're talking string bean casserole, which I like.
That's fucking upsetting.
I don't like it. My husband loves it. I make it for him. He would probably want that. Like whether or not he would eat it, he would probably eat it because it's got all the other stuff on it that's not good for him. He'd probably eat that. Sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows on top. He would definitely want that. I think he would want the cranberry sauce in a can, the jelly stuff.
Wait. Before you move on, I had to go and look at what the fuck string beans were called in the UK.
Okay.
Because they're not called string beans.
Okay.
Kind of maybe they're like baby runner beans if you're in the UK. That's kind of what they are. Yard long beans, hyacinth beans.
Yeah, the string bean casserole here, for anybody that doesn't know, it's
fucking upsetting is what it is.
So you use like the French fried onions, like that's in a box. I can't remember. I'm sure somebody will help me out with this, but they're like French fried onions in a container. So you mix string beans with cream of mushroom soup.
Oh my God.
And then you mix a little bit of the French fried onions in with that. You bake that for a little while. Then you put the French fried onions, the rest of it on top, and then you like bake it a little bit more or like broil it or something like that. I've done it a few times. I followed the recipe on the back of the French fried onions box. So to do that. But yes, I would think Dean would want, because I just think of him like
that looks revolting.
I think of all the
I'm
things.
real sorry.
It does. And it doesn't, I don't think it
looks
good. Again,
so gross.
Some people love it.
Whoa.
But I think it would be that, because I think he keeps going back to like, again, like talking about the Winchester surprise, like the stuff that his mom, made. Like, I feel like he would want that connection with that kind of food. Like, so I think he'd want this sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows on top. He probably would say
that is ungodly.
We don't need Brussels sprouts.
I don't even like sweet potatoes, right? But that is unholy to do that.
I don't know. I found a recipe that I really like, but I don't usually put mushrooms. Oh God, if I
imagine
no marshmallows on top. No marshmallows on top.
I would imagine if you started putting rum in the dishes, the whole thing would become much more fucking palatable. Just be like, don't even worry about the weird shit we eat. Just get pissed. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, but I think he'd like the cranberry jelly in a can. I think he would go for that, just to like plop it on a plate and have it there. Whether or not he would use it, I don't know. But yeah, I think he'd have all the very traditional things. I think he'd be very much like, nope, making the turkey, doing this, doing that. And I could see him like liking, like making all of that stuff, like being like in the kitchen.
Oh yeah. Do you think actually, do you think he'd go for a traditional roast turkey, or do you think he'd be like a turducken man? Because that's also ungodly.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like maybe.
For reference, I'm on Wikipedia's Thanksgiving page just looking at shit because I genuinely like I only know like the horror story kind of foods that you eat, and turkey obviously.
Yeah, I mean he's had the turducken slammer in that one episode, but I feel like he would want to do traditional. So I feel like stuffing, And again, I don't know, he might do stuffing in the turkey. I know you're not really that they don't say that's the safest thing to do. I'm not sure what kind of stuffing. Like, I don't know if he would just do like the stuffing mix on the side.
Sage and onion.
Just do
Wait, no, is that different? Is that stuffing is sage and onion over here? What the fuck is it for you?
Oh my gosh.
Stuffing.
I just know a lot of people use like a stuffing. It's in a box that they used to. I don't even know if they still do that anymore. But I see him doing all the things that. Like he'd have to get it from a box and like read the instructions on the back of it to like do it,
No, it would still be it's kind of like poultry stuffing. So breadcrumbs, onions, celery, spices, herbs, and sage, and it's just called like sage and onion stuffing over here.
Yeah, I have one that I do that I don't do in the turkey. But I found one that has apples in it, so it makes it a little bit sweeter too. And we like put it like in a baking dish and bake it up. And my mom really loves it because she likes the crusty bits on the side. So she's like, ooh, she like goes for that. And then Ted will go for the the middle part that has a little bit of a different consistency and stuff. So yeah.
So my husband, he likes stuffing, and it's an all year round thing in our house, and he makes his own with like a mix.
Yeah.
And he just makes them into balls. He doesn't like, some people like, like flatten them out in like a baking sheet kind of thing. I don't eat stuffing. So people learned real early on to stop giving Karlee meat that had stuffing even anywhere on it, because I wouldn't eat it. So we've never like had stuffed like turkeys or anything. But also we've never had like a full bird. Like my only comparison here is Christmas, obviously, because we don't have we have cry over the lost colonies days, but we don't have Thanksgiving, and that's on the 4th of July. But we never had there was never enough people attending to justify a whole turkey. So we would have like a turkey crown.
Right.
And you can stuff that. No, you can't really, because it doesn't have a no. Separate stuffing always. And I do know that, as you say, in more recent years it's become a bit of a you shouldn't stuff the actual the full bird,
like with meat, especially if you're talking meat and stuff. Yeah, like you just don't do that. Yeah, it's not good. It's not going to get cooked. And we did that a lot. And again, I think my mom, you just kind of like, you see, oh, we have to make a turkey, we have to stuff it, and she would do like she might have done like some like sausage, and maybe like, did she use chestnuts? Sometimes she would put chestnuts in the stuffing, different things like that.
Yeah, chestnut stuffing is quite popular over here as well.
Yeah. But
apparently on the West Coast, you might have salad.
Oh. Well, see,
apparently,
so
biscuits.
Like an Italian household we'd have a turkey, but then we'd also have pasta. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'd just have a mishmash of stuff, So
I don't like that. Do y'all have, this might not actually apply to you because you're not New England, are you? Bread rolls, biscuits, cornbread, the latter particularly in the South and parts of New England may be served. Mac and cheese in the South, which is
we never did mac and cheese, but that's another thing. Probably Dean would do mac and cheese. I'm sure he would do cornbread.
I feel like he would just collate all of the best from all of the places. Many Americans would regard Thanksgiving as incomplete without stuffing, mashed potatoes. Do you only have mashed potatoes, or would you make other types of potatoes as well? Would you have we call them roast potatoes?
We would probably just do mashed potatoes on that day.
Oh, that's sad. Cranberry sauce. An argument obviously is it fresh or is it out of the can? I think Bean would do can also. Commonly served vegetable dishes. What's a squash? What is that? Is that that's not like pumpkin, is it? That's like other weird shit.
No, it's just another type like a pumpkin's a type of squash, so just another type of squash.
That's weird. I don't like that. Turnips, sweet potatoes, which you do ungodly things.
Brussels sprouts are a big thing. I would think, but I think he might say no to Brussels sprouts, especially if they're.
But they have bacon.
Okay, but traditionally, the way it used to be boiled. They would be boiled Brussels sprouts. So, different texture. I don't think he would go for that. I like them roasted with bacon. Oh, actually, the way bacon's like a treat if we do it. Usually, I would roast it, but then like maybe put a little bit of balsamic vinegar on top after it's roasted. So it's got a different texture and flavor. It just feels like a little more earthy, you know what I mean? Like it's not quite as like it's not the mushy. I've never had a boiled Brussels sprout. I've only had roasted, and that's only within like the past decade or so, because I was opposed. My godmother loved them.
You're like, this is not how you make vegetables. No, I come from, obviously my grandparents grew up during the war. So the way that you cook Brussels sprouts is that you just peeled a few of the outside leaves off. I don't know why you peeled them off, but you did. And then you put an X in the bottom of the Brussels sprout to ensure that the water penetrated right into the middle. And then you boiled it until it fell apart. And then you put it until it was no longer a nice, vibrant green, until it was like a gross, ugh. And
I just think Dean would be like, no, we are not having those things at the table. Like like that would be his no. That would be his no. I just think he wouldn't do it.
Now, I think we'll do main and then we'll do dessert, because obviously Thanksgiving is the event of pie, and we know how Dean feels about pie. But I think that there would be a lot of friction between Sam and Dean
Mm-hmm.
in regards to a Thanksgiving meal, because as we all know, Sam is not particularly a fan of all this kind of heavy, hearty, it's not junk food, but it is like heavy, lots of butter and just heavy food. So I think there would be arguments, because I think he could probably maybe get on board with turkey, but I think like he would want to,
He'd want a salad. I think he would want a salad at the table. Yeah,
low sodium, some of the things, roasted vegetables are great, but they're not, there's a lot of oil and things. And I think Sam would probably prefer like steamed vegetables, maybe. And I can picture an argument breaking out about how that shit wasn't going on Dean's table, blah, blah, blah. I think Sam would maybe adhere to the spirit, but the dishes would not be prepared in the traditional way.
Or so he just wouldn't be going back for seconds or have like a lot on his plate. Like if he had to sit there, I don't think he would necessarily like be indulging and like stuffing himself, say the way that Dean would be, like, trying everything and eating everything. So I think he'd be a lot more selective in what he would pick from the table. Or I could see him going, Dean, there's this great new way. Like you just put it in a baking tray and just roast it. You just drizzle it with a little bit of like olive oil or whatever. And Dee would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, we don't do that to vegetables.
No. I don't think Dean, see, that's the thing. I think Dean would have the kind of vegetable dishes that are, like the ungodly sweet potatoes that are modified to make them tastier, but infinitely less healthy.
Oh yeah. I totally see him doing that, because it would be like, this is the day to eat. Like, this is what we do. You eat on Thanksgiving. And Sam be like, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to eat that much.
So I think, he's going to be like, if he's going to be roasting vegetables at all, if he's going to be preparing vegetables at all, they're going to be recipes he's found, like, sugar in with the carrots to bring the sweetness out. My knowledge of vegetable preparation will fall apart very fucking quickly here because I don't eat them. But you know all of the things. If you're listening out there and you're like, I don't know all of the things, I don't know either. So but I do know there are healthy ways to prepare vegetables, and there are ways to make vegetables taste good and very unhealthy. Lots of butter,
following the
oil,
recipe, he would do the things he needed to do to the vegetables to get them to the state that's like, oh my God, like one scoop of this is going to be like 3,000 calories because of all the butter and all the sugar and all the other things that he would be putting into it. That's the thing I've noticed too about Thanksgiving meals is all the butter. Like there's so much butter. And as an Italian, we focus more on olive oil. So I'm always surprised at how much butter has to go into like stuffing or mashed potatoes. Like you put in it, it's like, it's still not enough. I still got to put more because I can't, you can't taste it until you put a lot of it in there. It's just like, I'm always amazed at how much butter has to go into Thanksgiving dishes overall. It's a ton of butter. And Dean would be like bringing home the big, like,
Dean would be
wholesale club packet of like, I've got to get like 4 boxes of butter, for this kind of situation. Yeah,
I agree. So I think Sam would probably, I think it's funny to imagine Sam doing like some kind of tofu main, like, like fake turkey, tofu turkey. But I don't think he would. I think he would probably, turkey's quite a poultry in general, is quite a, it is white meat, it's fine. But I do think he would hold to the spirit of the sides, but I think they would be cooked quite healthily, and Dean would be fully appalled.
Yeah, maybe Dean would be like, okay, you can pick one dish you want me to make on the side, and I will do that. Like he might go one thing, and I'll make one thing for you at the table, because I think he might realize too, Sam's really not going to eat all of this stuff.
Yeah. I think Dean could probably be convinced to make a salad just for Sam.
Just so he could say, here's your kale.
Yeah, even though it's not traditional, and we know that he would be, he'd be trying to do all the things that he's seen on TV. I think he would probably fold and be like, here's your fucking salad. Yeah.
Even though I would say,
you better try everything, but here's your fucking salad.
Yeah. Depending on the region, like you said, I could say too, like Italians will always, typically big meal, will always have a salad. For us, salads usually don't happen at the start. they'll happen sort of like after, at least like from the area and like the way I was brought up. We do switch it up now. Like
sad.
we've gotten a little bit more Americanized. So sometimes we'll have the salad at the beginning, but it was usually a salad at the end because it's supposed to be like part of like the whole digesting and like moving on, like almost like a palate cleanser, like before you move on, like to the next bit kind of like situation. Because Italians are very plates. So having all the foods at the table at once it's not really something like, it's more like, okay, you have your meat and then you might have your pasta and then you might have another. So it's kind of like stages. That's why sometimes the meals can go on for hours, like in an Italian household, because it's not just all at the table. Like my mom had to get used to that. Like you put everything at the table all at once to eat kind of a situation.
Exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh my God. Yes. When you see people, I've been in Italy and seen the process. I'm like, oh my God, they're coming back. It's another dish. Why are we getting another dish? Why can't we put everything all on one? When my grandmother lost her shit when she saw me, like not in a bad way, but just was so confused that I would like put everything on one plate. Like she didn't understand that you put like a little bit of meat, a little bit of vegetable, a little bit of something else all on one plate. That was just like, why are you doing that? My mom had to explain to her, this is the way we eat in America. Like it all goes on one plate and we eat it all at once. So
that's so wild.
Yeah, this was decades ago. Over in Italy, a lot of unfortunately, a lot of people have become Americanized or whatever. Like it's not a good thing. It's kind of like, we're kind of like those spotted lantern flies. It's just kind of like, oh, here's what we do. Give this a try. Like it. No, don't do that. It's not a good idea. Just because we do it, don't do it. We're a little invasive, I think. But yeah, that's how I remember it. So yeah, I see Dean everything as much as he could fit onto one table for everybody to just go at. Oh, here's a question. Do you think they would pass the plates? Like they would pass each thing that had to go? Or do you think they would just be like, just grab whatever that you want situation? Because that's always interesting to deal with. Because sometimes people are like, okay, pass and then go like figure out which direction you go with it.
See, that's a completely foreign concept to me.
Okay.
Because you don't, certainly my family, I don't know if it's different in other households, but certainly my family, you are served a full meal on the plate, and the chef, the person who is cooking the meal plates it up, and it is their discretion how much of whatever you get.
Okay.
So the concept of, like pass the potatoes or pass the, it doesn't, it's just you make an amount of food and it is portioned out per plate. There's not like, it's just a completely foreign concept to me. So
right. No, I think that makes sense because my mom doesn't do that. Like for every, like when it's like regular, like when we sit down, or like if it's just a regular Sunday, when we have family over to eat, it's just like, if it's pasta, like, she puts it in the bowl. She'll ask, like, say, do you want one scoop or two? And then like, it gets put in, and then somebody takes it to the table for the person, or they go and she puts it and then they take it. And it's like, do you want a little bit of this? Do you want a little bit of this?
Don't you?
That kind of stuff.
Does that not cause arguments though?
Oh, but they're fun arguments. They're fun arguments when you get to it. It's like, because then mom will be like, no, you want two.
I mean, for example, like I love roast potatoes, for example. So if we're passing around bowls, right, and like say there's only one potato left, I'll fight somebody for that potato then. Like this is now a war because that's my potato. I have earmarked it. It's mine.
Makes way too much food anyway, which is a whole other thing. Like she'll make enough for lots of leftovers, which can then be an issue. But like when she has people over, yeah, it's hard to just get her to do like, mom, just make enough for, for one meal. It's okay if there aren't leftovers. That gets a whole other food issue.
It's a whole other argument.
That's a whole other heap of like stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we've ever gotten to that, but that'd be interesting. I think there might be some fights at the Thanksgiving table.
I
think. I
agree. Yeah,
if other people are there. Yeah,
I think there might be some arguments about it. Yeah, So the Wikipedia page then advises me on desserts, which is pie. So I think we could all agree that Dean would have every kind of pie.
Oh, yeah.
All
Absolutely.
of them.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie. What is it? Pumpkin pie is widely regarded as the most popular and traditional, but apple pie and pecan pie, or pecan
pie,
common favorites. Sweet potato pie. Is that a mince pie? Do you have mince pies?
Something makes me think that Dean wouldn't have a mince pie at the table. I think he'd have I
don't think he would. I didn't even think you had them over there, and they are exclusive. They are for Christmas. It is a Christmas thing over here.
Yeah, I think he'd have cream pie. So he might have banana cream pie, coconut cream pie, chocolate cream pie. He'd have all the pies that he could. Pies. Selections of pies.
Cherry pie.
Yeah,
chocolate cream pie.
Yeah,
sweet potato pie, which is apparently that's different. Whatever the fuck it is you do with sweet potatoes, normally
different than pumpkin. Yeah, sweet potato. Yeah, the sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie. I feel like he'd have.
Can you make up the same sweet potato mix and then just put some of it in a bowl of some marshmallows and call it a sweet potato side, and then put the rest of the filling in a pie crust and call it a sweet potato pie?
No, I don't think you can do this. Okay. I think the consistency is different. I think you'd have to blend something to a point that it would not hold up the same way as in a sweet potato casserole. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I could be wrong. Wikipedia. I don't know how much sweet potatoes I think I've done a couple sweet potato pies, but they are, they'd be a little bit different, just a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's fair. The Wikipedia does not provide me with anything else. Apparently, y'all just eat pies, just pastry or death. Apparently, which is kind of a problem.
I mean, it's great for Dean. He'd love it. He'd love it. So I think that's probably why it's probably would be one of his favorite holidays. Would be pie, all day. Poor Sam.
See, I don't think Sam would be like, oh my god, everything. I'm 10% fucking animal products at this point, and now you want me to eat pie. What did he say?
Blueberry pie. He'd have blueberry pie too. Bet you he'd have blueberry pie. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. It's a really common conflict where they get asked what they think Sam and Dean's favorite type of pie is, and that's when it devolves into the pecan argument. And Dean, Jensen says,
what does Dean?
Jensen says Dean's is cherry pie.
Yeah.
And Jensen's is
some kind of cream
banana
pie. I feel like it's banana cream.
Cream.
But he does like a pecan pie.
Pecan. You don't call it sauce. But Jared's answer is, I don't think Sam eats a lot of pie. And then you get, I don't think Jared does either. And the eventual answer from Jared is, Sam does have a favorite pie. It's 3.14. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know the rest of pie like Jared does. So I just don't. Pie is quite. Maybe I'm eating the wrong kind of pies. I don't know. I'm not a fan of pie. I find it quite dense, quite heavy.
You know what I find just interesting though?
Not a fan.
I can't look at pie again without thinking of Dean. If I make a pie, it's almost like I make it in commemoration of Dean would like this pie. It's that's a kind of thing now that's ingrained in my brain is I definitely make more pies than I used to. I don't make them often, but when I do make one, it's because Dean would like this pie, or okay, would Dean approve of this pie? I think Dean would also make sure there was ice cream for certain pies. Cause if you have a warm apple pie, you'd put ice cream on top. You would not be enjoying dessert.
I would just be like, just give me some ice cream. I just have ice cream. That'd be fine. I'd be fine. No, that'd be fine. I'm not a fan of pastry. I don't know if it's just sweet pastry I don't like, because I like a pie, but I like it to be a steak pie or something. And I'm just not.
Yeah.
It's not a fan. I'm just not. No, just sweet pies, they're untrustworthy. Gotcha. You don't know what the fruit is like inside. What if someone didn't pit all the cherries, and in your fucking slice, you get a cherry pit, and you bite and you expect mushy, lovely, mushy cherries and pastry, and then clunk. Oh, I'd die.
Every bite is an adventure, and Karlee's having none of it.
No, I need consistency. That really upsets me. I think Sam would maybe have a token slice of pie to appease Dean, but he would not indulge. Whereas I think Dean would just. I see Dean with 5 or 6 plates around him with different slices of pie on each plate, and he's just num 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 num.
Yeah. I'm just looking up what is the healthiest. I feel like pumpkin might be the healthiest pie, either that or apple. Double crust, more calories. Pumpkin pie, yeah, delivers fiber. And like all orange foods, pumpkins are packed with carotenoids, which can help tackle free radicals and decrease inflammation. So yeah, maybe he'd have a little slice of pumpkin.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see, apple pie, 345 calories. Pumpkin pie, 292. I think he'd go for pumpkin. Yeah.
Yeah. So which leads us kind of, while we're still on with food, goes to the turkey. Now, I think there's a definite answer to this. I just want to know if you're still with me.
I just think it's Dean.
I also think it's Dean.
Yeah.
And you see, the thing is, I think it's Dean, and I don't even think Sam would protest that.
No.
I think Sam would be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like he'd be like, there's a certain way you're supposed to cut it.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be like that dad that has got he knows which way he's got to slice it. He would probably slice according to whoever wanted what, I just feel like he would embrace that wholeheartedly and do that. I just feel like he would be the dad who cuts the turkey. I feel like for Sam and everybody else that was there. So yeah.
I agree. Yeah. But then that raises a question. If Bobby is there or John's there, do you think Dean cedes to the higher male authority?
I think Dean would ask him. I think Dean would ask Bobby, but I think Bobby would be like, no, kid, you go ahead. You go ahead.
That's so fucking cute. I love that so much. That's adorable. So we're in agreement that Dean would be the one to cut the turkey. So one of the things that we had on our list is who falls asleep first after the meal, because y'all, as a nation, I'm not blaming you exclusively, Sandra, y'all as a nation have decided that the post-food nap is because of some nonsense in the turkey and not just because everybody ate too much food.
And we know that's
asleep.
not, we know now that's not the case, but we wanted to believe it wholeheartedly.
I think it's cute.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, I just have this funny feeling that Sam would maybe want to go out for a run or something, especially if Dean had been the one to cook and he's eaten all this really heavy food that's laying really heavily on his stomach. I just feel like his response to that would be to go out, even just for a short time, and just go move to try and, just not feel so bloated and ick. Whereas I think Dean would stagger from the table to the couch and just be like, I live here now. I
think he would stagger to the table, couch, Dean cave, wherever he would go. But then I think the expectation would be, Sammy, you got to clean up. I did the stuff.
Oh,
you're gonna clean up the dishes. So then I don't know if
maybe that would be enough movement.
I think so, especially all the mess Dean made. I think that would be enough. Yeah.
I sort of my idea was not that Sam, being the little health nut that he is, bless him, I don't think he would want to remain sedentary and bloated after a meal like that.
Yeah. I think he would help, he'd be part of the cleanup crew, because Dean would be like, man, I'm done. I've made all this food.
I've eaten all this food.
I want to go watch. And again, that's one of the other questions we've got, but I just want to go relax, that kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, he would probably fall asleep, I think, a little bit, but probably in your Step Into Christmas, I think he'd wake up occasionally, look at the TV, go what the heck is that? What's happening? Who's on the television?
Why is the old lady on the TV?
Yeah.
It's the Queen's speech, babe. It's the King's speech now. It's the King's speech. It's very sad. He hasn't got the same charm his mother had, unfortunately.
I would think not. Yeah.
It's very sad. Big is. I think Sam would put up a token protest about that, but I think he would actually would consider that to be right, that Dean, because I don't think I would be wrong in saying that Dean is kind of the kitchen is his domain and he will shoo you out of it. That is how I interpreted him when I wrote Step Into Christmas, that he's not going to accept help. And maybe he's going to be one of those irritating people that shoos you out of the kitchen and then goes, nobody fucking helps me around here. So but maybe not.
I think he might let certain people help. If Jack asked to help, I think he would let Jack help. If Jack was, going to be at the meal or whatever, because I think he would do that. If Jack was really excited and wanted to learn how to do something, I think he might show him how to do something, or this is how I do it, that kind of thing.
Alternatively, this is the right way to do it. You know, if Jack is also taking tips from Sam on how to eat healthily.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, no. This is the right way to do it, right? You start with 2 pounds of butter, okay?
Yeah.
And then we'll add 1 vegetable. And then some more butter.
Well, considering Jack's favorite candy is what, nougat, I don't think he'd have a problem.
Jack would be very happy with the sweet potato abomination.
Yeah.
So,
I think so.
Yeah, I think we could say Dean would fall asleep first, and I think Sam would want to, even if it was just getting up to clean, I think Sam would want to get up and move. Yeah. So, next question then, is it a football game or do we put a movie on?
I feel like it would just depend on when they got done and what was on. Like if there was a certain game, like, and this is where I don't know, like how regimented would Dean be as like when we have to eat sort of a situation? Does it line up with what's playing, like what game's on? Or would it just be like, well, what's on right now? What would we watch first? Like, is there, because some stations play like the same movies over and over and over again. And if there was a favorite movie of Dean's, maybe he'd be like catching the tail end of something and then it would start up again. But I feel like the game, if there were a lot of people around with them that, might be interested in it, or again, if you feel like you had to teach somebody something, but he's going to be half asleep. So I'm not sure. I think it depends, like a when, and I don't know the answer to that. Like, would Dean be, we have to eat at this time, or we just eat when the food's ready? I just feel like we just eat when the food's ready and I'm done.
See, my only information about this comes from TV and movies and stuff, but it was my understanding that the meal was scheduled around the football game. Like almost like the football game was like the most important thing and the meal was so the meal had to be done by the time the football was ready to start. Think
here with people do with the Super Bowl, like that kind of, like it's a day.
Maybe I'm confusing Thanksgiving with the Super Bowl, but there is a football game on like Thanksgiving afternoon, isn't there?
There is. But so see, I don't know. Like I feel like, Dean would probably do it because it was something you had to do, but I don't know if he'd be as like, oh, we have to make sure it's done in time. You know what I mean? Like I think he'd be a little bit different about that. I think it'd be more about the meal primary, and then whatever's on after, he'd sit in front of and pass out. Kind of a situation. That's my take. That's what I think on it.
Yeah. No,
just
I can.
I don't know if Sam. What do you think about like Sam? Like, would he want to watch a game, or would he want to watch?
I think he. I don't know. I think he might. Get into the spirit of the game and stuff like that. I'm not sure, but I think equally. I could go either way with this. I could equally see Dean making a tradition of you watch the football. It's always the football, or equally making a tradition of we always watch this movie. It doesn't have to be a movie that's going like playing on the TV or anything.
Right, it could just be a movie that they want to watch, that they want to do every. Yeah, I get that. I get that too.
Well, I mean, if it was Jensen, obviously we all know he's going to sit down and watch.
I just feel like he would do it maybe just to do it, but like not be maybe invested. Like in anything in particular.
Maybe it's just one of those. It's on in the background while everyone's just kind of maybe having leftovers, chatting, just the kind of general mingling that takes place at holidays.
Yeah.
What else have we got? Do you think they dress up like we were talking about early in the episode, or do you think they dress down? Because I think Dean appreciates
they'd
sweats.
Be comfortable. I think they'd be comfortable.
I agree.
Pretty easy. He'd be comfortable.
I just don't think you would get Dean in, well, I would call them like trousers, but you would maybe call them like dress slacks or whatever. I just don't like, that's not conducive to a meal. That's just made of sadness and
I think so. I mean, this is where obviously, like, I think the actors are very different than the characters, because I feel like Dean Dean dresses up when it's work related. You know what I mean? Like, and I think he might get some enjoyment out of it when it's work, but when he's not working, I don't think he wants to be dressed up. I think he just wants to. He wants to wear nightgowns. He just wants to walk around. Like, he would want to be comfortable. Like, he would just want to be comfy.
Maybe he'll put on his good flannel for the occasion. He'll dig out his one good flannel. One that he's pretty sure doesn't have blood on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we covered ideal guests and things like that. I don't know enough about Thanksgiving traditions to Say.
No, the only other thing I remember, and not that I think I've done it only a couple times when I was younger, apparently like there's the wishbone in the turkey. And sometimes and again, I don't know what the tradition is. I don't know if there's a specific way you're supposed to do it, but I think two people would kind of like pull on the wishbone, and whoever got the majority of the wishbone gets to make a wish. Yeah, wins and gets to make a wish kind of situation. It could be very different from that. Somebody can let us know. We don't have to look that up. If somebody knows, if you do this thing, tell us.
Let us know what the
wishbone is. What's the tradition? Yeah. How do you do it?
Yeah.
How does it work in your family?
We have questions. Let us know. Do y'all have like Christmas crackers? A Christmas kind of similar theme to the wishbone.
Christmas crackers?
Silence tells me.
Oh, are they the things you pull and they make a noise? Mm-hmm. We probably have them. I've never used them. I've seen them. No. Yeah. So you just pull them and they pop kind of a thing. Yeah.
They have
candy or something inside.
No, nothing. Okay. So exciting. So they have like, they're designed to break at one end or the other. So they never break in the middle. So someone always ends up with like the bigger bit.
Okay.
And inside the bigger bit, there is always a paper hat. Traditionally they would have like a little bit of paper that had a joke on it, and then they can have literally anything, like
a fortune cookie.
Yeah, but it's a really shitty joke. Like it's not even like it's not good. It's just garbage.
Okay,
it's like a kid's level joke. You know,
it sounds like the wishbone aspect, where if you get more of whatever, you get the quote unquote prize, whatever that situation is. Yeah, if
the cracker breaks and you've got the bigger half, you get the inside of it. And then they have all kinds of things in them, like little sort of like fidget puzzles you can get in there, mini screwdriver sets. It's always good when you get a mini screwdriver. Right, look, they are banging, right? They are helpful. As someone who's worn glasses all my life, they're fucking helpful.
No, I had to buy. I buy those just to have them for my glasses. Yeah,
Christmas crackers, dude. Yeah. Christmas crackers. Okay. They can have all manner of shite in them. It depends very much on the price point of the crackers, depending on what they have. Mm-hmm. Some of them are like themes, so you can like Disney themed ones and shit like that. But I
might have to get them. Ted would probably find that cute. Maybe just get them just to get them one day. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go around until everyone's got like you put one in front of every plate, and in theory, everyone is supposed to end up with winning at least one pull. And then everybody dons the paper hats, and they're uncomfortable, and they never fit. And then you do this before the meal.
Okay.
So you would pull the crackers before the meals. It goes after the toast. I guess not every family toasts at Christmas, but my family does. Mm-hmm. So after the toast, and everybody clinks glasses and it's cheers. And then once that's done, then it's meal time. Mm-hmm. But before meal, then you do cracker. Okay. And then you eat dinner in your paper hat. And it's weird. I don't know why. But you just do, because I have small children. You have to let them win as well, which is quite difficult. I don't know if you ever tried to pull a cracker with a toddler, but it's quite difficult. Yeah. So inevitably, the child's guardian will end up leaving their place at the table to come around and go, "I will help," and like making sure that the baby wins. Mm-hmm. You should you'd be able to get them on Amazon. You should definitely Christmas crackers.
Yeah, they're fun. But it sounds like a fun thing.
So you don't make a wish, you just win shite.
Yeah.
Tat, as we would call it in the UK. You just win garbage.
Okay.
Lol.
No, that sounds cute. I think you were mentioning toast. I mean, I think that they would toast. Like Sam and Dean, I feel like they would toast, definitely.
Yes.
They wouldn't necessarily toast with a specific beverage. I think whatever the person wanted in front of them, probably beer. They would probably toast with that or something like that.
So it's interesting.
Wine. Yeah.
It's interesting you say that, because my family, when my mum was still alive, everybody, you would take whatever you were drinking at the time. Mm-hmm. Someone would be like, dinner is nearly ready. So you would get a refill or a top up of whatever you're drinking at the time, and you take that to the table. Mm-hmm. But there is also wine glasses on the table, and we would drink usually like Bucks Fizz. Is that a thing?
Again, wait. What?
It's oh god, what is it? Hang on, let me tell you what it is. It's like sparkling wine and orange juice.
Oh, like cider? Like sparkling cider or something? Okay. No. Okay. Like a mimosa?
No.
It has orange juice in it?
Also no.
Okay. All right. I don't know.
And you're like, I don't know what is.
We would get water and wine and ginger ale at the table, like Thanksgiving Italians, because ginger ale, Some people like to put the ginger ale in their wine. They like to give it a little like fizz or whatever. So a little bit of every. Those are like the three things you'd have: ginger ale, water, wine.
Oh, so I was wrong.
Soda.
Okay. I was wrong. Apparently, it is mimosa.
Okay.
But it's Bucks Fizz is like the brand. So again, it's something that comes out around Christmas, like bottles of Bucks Fizz. So it's sparkling wine, usually champagne, with orange juice in it, and it tastes exactly like you would think it tastes. It's not for me. Okay. But we should have wine glasses on the table, and you would be poured, and like it would be like one bottle between me, mom, grandma, granddad. Well, it was like 5 of us, so it's only a little bit.
Yeah.
And of course, when my eldest came along, they would have their little sippy cup. So we had one Christmas all together where we ate together between my son being born and my mum dying. And he was there with his little sippy cup. So you pour the wine and you do a toast. And I make a toast in my house, but we didn't make a toast when it was my family. It was just everybody clinked glasses and cheers. And my eldest was completely fucking adorable, and they insisted on cheersing everybody individually, and they were just over 1 at the time, so they could talk like a little bit, but not like a lot, but they could figure out, like they could make a noise approximating cheers. So they just sat in a little high chair at the table, just insisting that everybody clink glasses. So I also don't see Sam and Dean adhering to a wine toast. I think it would just be whatever drink you've got for dinner. And like I said, my family didn't do like, it wasn't like a to family or to good health or anything like that. It was just cheers. I will cheers with my family, and then I will just like raise my glass to my mum and wish her a Merry Christmas. I think Dean might be kind of like, to family, or maybe make more of a toast.
I think he might make a point of, like, especially for the people that weren't there, with them. I feel like he would do that, because kind of is similar to the ending of the show, or just at certain points they would just kind of like reflect and just be like, I think he would be, and I think Sam would echo that. But I think Dean would probably lead with that.
It was always the elder, the head of the family that would make the toast for us. So it would always be my granddad that would instigate the toast. And while I live in a democracy, it is still me that instigates a toast. And I don't request that my family toast to my mum. I do it. And that's all it is. It's just like, Merry Christmas, Mum. I don't do the whole, to absent friends or absent family, because that's just sad. That makes me sad. I'm already sad. I don't want to be extra sad. Yeah. So, but I think Dean might make that kind of, to absent family, to absent friends, to those who should be with us, kind of thing. Maybe. But that might be more of a Christmas thing than a Thanksgiving thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I feel like he might do it, I feel like he might do it.
Yeah. And I suppose that leads us very nicely onto the last thing. It's just, what do we think Sam and Dean would be thankful for? And nothing boring, like, I'm thankful for my brother. I'm thankful for my safety. Because I could totally see Dean, head of the table, going first. I'm thankful for skin mags, Well,
yeah, I just come back to that one episode. Like, I just think he would say he's thankful for his car. He's thankful for baby. He's thankful for the bunker.
Do you think they'd go serious, or do you think they would try and, be a bit more funny?
I mean, I feel like I think they would mask it over something, like to try to make it be a funny joke, but then probably like I see Dean getting serious whether he wants to or not. I feel like he would start out trying to make a joke, but then get into his feelings, God, and probably say something, that just kind of came out. Yeah,
it'd be extreme. See, I think Sam would be like straight up and just be like, I'm thankful for everybody here.
Yeah,
I'm thankful for the people around this table. I don't know. I find that so, like, is that something you guys do? Do you go around the table and be like, this is what we're thankful for? I find that really strange.
We don't. Again, I've seen it done in movies. I don't know if I've ever like sat around a table of another's where like it's definitely like, what am I thankful for? I know like, prayer was a thing, but I don't know if I've ever been a part of that. So again, I don't know what's manufactured and then like what was a thing first and then what did, what did film copy, or did film sort of like make it a thing that other people started to, oh, this is a thing we should start to do. Like, I don't know what the tradition was first.
If you're listening and you come from one of the families that would go around the table and say what you were thankful for, please let us know, like stay anonymous by all means, but please let us know the kind of things that your family would say they were thankful for. Did they tend towards more serious things, or were they lighthearted and funny and, I'm thankful for my car, I'm thankful for skin mags, I'm thankful for kale,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do well in forced situations like that, I've got to say. So maybe that's why I'm like, I find it weird.
Yeah, so I don't know if they would necessarily just have a spot where they would say it, or if it just might come organically, like in conversation.
No, I think Dean would be like, this is a tradition. You do this. And he would force it, and everyone would be like, oh my God, Dean, I don't want to. But then Dean would be the one to like lose his shit and have to wipe his eyes afterwards. It's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah.
But that's the end of our sort of like, our topics of discussion on Thanksgiving. But being that this is a Thanksgiving episode, we figured we'd say what we're thankful for, even though neither of us either have Thanksgiving or hold to this tradition. But we see it in movies, guys. We want to be like the movies. So do you want to go first, Sandra? I'll go first. Oh no, in fact, actually, Jinx will go first.
Okay.
Jinx is thankful for soft beds and keyboards he could walk on. That's what you're thankful for, isn't it, Muffin? Jinx is very adamantly cleaning his leg and paying no fucking attention to me. But I can only assume if he could talk, that is what he would say. He's thankful for soft beds and keyboards he can walk on.
Aww.
So you can go, Sandra, or I can go. I don't know.
I was going to try to think about kind of relating it just to the podcast in general too, in terms of like what I was thankful for. And I think the fact that we're still doing it, I'm thankful for. I think that it was an experiment, a tryout that I think has reaped a lot of benefits, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for getting the chance to meet a lot of people in the fandom that I don't think I would have had reason to just get them to come on and talk about all the wonderful things that they do as authors or just parts of the community. So I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that I have a partner in it who still wants to do the thing. And yeah, I hope that, I hope we get to say that we're thankful for things next year too, on the podcast. But, no, I'm thankful for the fandom. I'm going to say that leery because I'm thankful for the fandom. Really, just some great people that I've gotten the chance to meet through it. So yeah, that's what I'm thankful for. Yeah.
That's fair. You stole all of my ideas.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cow.
I'm sorry. You should have gone first then.
No. No. Then what would you have done? You would have gone, you stole all my ideas. No. I'm thankful that we are, that we're still, that this little project that Sandra was like, I think I'm going to do this. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll get on board with that. And here we are, we're almost 2 years down the line, and we're, it's growing and expanding, and it's doing good things. And I'm thankful for our little Impala that could.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thankful for the people that we've met through the podcast. Again, like Sandra, people that I would never, people that I've admired, people that I would never have had a chance to connect with, and make friendships with, and that, want to come back and chat with us and listen to our nonsense and stuff, which is freaking awesome. Yeah. So yeah, again, a bit leery. I'm thankful for the fandom. I'm thankful for the fandom at large that makes enough space for people
everybody, right?
To do things that they want to do. Yeah. So yeah. And I guess it's a big old cliche. I'm thankful for you guys. You keep coming back, you keep listening, you keep liking, leaving comments, all that great stuff, which is super awesome. Yeah. So I'm thankful for you. Yeah. And I'm going to nick Sandra's idea again. I'm thankful for Sandra. You know, she could have done this. She could have done this on her own, and she still opened the space to let my wild ass come and join in. And I genuinely could not be more proud of what we've made together, and you know where it's come from, where it's going, and next year we'll have different things to be thankful for, hopefully. So yeah. And I guess with that, we will once again wish all you American listeners and watchers and viewers and everything a happy Thanksgiving. You know, please eat too much, fall asleep on the couch, you know, be thankful for the people that are around you. And it would be very remiss of me not to mention, though, that we do appreciate and understand that the holidays actually can be a horrible, horrible time for people, whether they don't have family that they can go home to for any various reason, or their families are not safe, you know. Please don't feel that you have to adhere to traditions and restrictions set by other people. You need to do what you need to do to keep yourself safe. And you know, we have resources and things in the description if you are worried about the holidays and things. And while I wish it was easy for everybody to just say fuck you to unsupportive families, I understand that it's not. So you take our well wishes with you, you know, just get through the week. And by Monday, it's all over for another year. But overall, we hope you have an amazing time, however you choose to spend it, with whether it's a requirement or a found family or a Friendsgiving, or, you know, maybe you're one of the very rare people out there that actually like their family. God, I wonder what that would be like. Have a great time anyway. And happy Thanksgiving from us here at the Impala.
All together? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I see Karlee got all smushy. So yeah, we're going to wrap up. But if you want to reach out to us and tell us about your Thanksgiving traditions, anything Thanksgiving holiday that you'd like to share, feel free to email us at idlinginttheimpala@gmail.com. You can comment on Spotify and use the Q&A section to share your thoughts. All our contact details are on our website, idlinginttheimpala.com. Go check it out.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, follow, and subscribe wherever you access your podcast, but especially if you are watching or listening on YouTube. Likes, comments, subscriptions, all that good stuff. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. All hail its benevolence. In the description, as I mentioned, there are causes that we are championing. They have been updated to reflect the current and ongoing situation in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas and the people that are, you know, trapped by that conflict. So please go and check them out. And if you want a little bit more kind of information about why we champion those causes in particular, you can head to the website idlinginttheimpala.com. There's like a whole new page of why we chose those places, you know, and what they mean to us and things like that. But as always, the resources in the description are there if you need them. And if you can and you want to donate to help them keep helping other people, that would be freaking sweet. And with that, we will say thank you for joining us in the backseat. Once again, happy Thanksgiving. And we will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.